up, my friends, it's July 5, 2026, and I just remembered I have another funny story which I will tell you about a problem I had in Kfor. Let's go! Yeah, back in the day in Kfor I made 2 jobs. I agreed to make 2 jobs because I wanted to help Graz, and wanted to earn some extra bakshish, because when I made 2 jobs I got 200 euros more for 1 month. So actually the government didn't have to spend 9,000 euro brutto. They just had to give me 200 euro, and I made a second job. So it's a good deal for the government, I think. And I agreed to do it. I said, okay, I will do it. I said, Graz Habibis, I will do it. Back then we were Habibis, me and Graz. Now they don't have a backbone anymore, but that's another story. I agreed to make 2 jobs, and I said, okay, I do it. Finished. But you should always consider there's always a Würstelsepp in the mission. And back then we had a really obese commander, very obese, you know, like obese, like fat. And this guy talked with Graz on a communication advice in the camp with Graz, and he said, I cannot do these 2 jobs, you know, because I'm so weak, so they need to send another guy to make this other job. But I agreed I can make 2, but he lied to Graz and said I cannot do it. So what, as I said, back then we were Habibis, so one guy of Graz called me and said, hey Roman, what's going on? I said to him, hey, that's absolutely not true, they are lying. So what did I did? I wrote an email to the commander in Graz and said to him, hey, this and this happened and I'm agreeing to do these 2 jobs. All these guys basically are telling you bullshit, absolute not true, and they try to hackelschmeiß me again because they have something against me, because I'm on the side of the local workers from the ÖHOF, and this fat NCC and the Würstelsepp, they were against the locals. They wanted to kick out one local because after she was pregnant, she was working, she needed more time off. Sometimes she was late because of the baby, and I defended this local. I defended her against the NCC and against the Würstelsepp. I, as her boss, defended her. Like, you know, like she was my woman. But actually she was not, because she was not so sexy. But anyway, I defended her, and the fat NCC, you know, the NCC, Spritti NCC and the Würstelsepp did not like this at all. Yeah, but that's true. I defended those locals, and in the end I got sent home because I said some bullcrap about a local. Yeah, that's life. Yeah, I like it. So I wrote this paper directly to Graz, to the boss. I didn't say anything to my commanders. Actually I said it to my S4. A man S4 was down there. I said to him, I'm gonna send an email to Graz, and so that he know, that he can inform the commander. I sent the email that this and this was wrong. I can do the job, you know, it's because I agreed to do the job, because I get 200 euro each month more. So, but the guys from Graz, von Oberstleutnant, called the fat NCC and said, hey, what the fuck is going on? So somebody said to this NCC, why is Witlak saying like this and you are saying like this? Somebody is lying. And of course they did not like it. They did not like the fuck it at all. So I and the S4 had to go to the NCC for a report, for me report. And the weird thing was, the Würstelsepp was also sitting inside the office, which he has nothing to do in this office because he's the Würstelsepp. He's responsible for the Surchwürstel and not responsible for a report or a complaint against me. And then this NCC said to me, I wrote this letter directly to the command, which is not allowed because I have to inform my commander. And I said to him, yes, I informed him, this commander. I said to him that I will send it. And what did he say when he was asked? No. Du hast mir nichts gesagt, which means no, I didn't inform him. What a fucking loser, with no fucking backbone. So it was, first of all, we were discussing again why I do the PX and my other job, blah blah blah, a lot of discussion. And I said to him already, I will do it like this, like this, like this, because I have a brain. I don't need to ask an officer how I do my job. So, but then, and then this was like 1 hour. We discussed how can we do this job, blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. And then he said, yeah, usually he's gonna make a disciplinary disciplinary shit against me. So which means you have to pay money usually. And he said, but I just give you a written warning. So I got the written warning again. I read this fucking paper and I said, yeah, but I told the S4 that I'm gonna inform Graz about it, and the S4 again, no, because he's a fucking loser. The loser he is. Because he is a fucking loser. So I signed this crap, you know, I don't have to pay money, but I signed it. And why this all happened? Because all these officers, nearly everybody had a grudge against me because I know how to open my mouth. I complain about stuff when I see shit, and when I see shit, I'm gonna clean the shit away, like the washing machine where I cleaned the shit of this drunk sergeant.
Ich hab eingegriffen, hab mit den Fingern die Scheiße gegriffen. Das ist Scheiße. Und war der Fakt, gut, dass GoPro keinen Geruchssinn hat, weil die den abstürzen, so fucking tut's da.
So I cleaned the shit away, and I was responsible for 4 local workers in the Earhof, and I stood by them. They are Kosovarian people. Some don't like Kosovarian people because they're Kosovarian people, but I like them, I helped them, and I defended them. And for this, I had another written warning, a lot of blah, blah, blah. And the funny thing is, after this, you know, I had to go to dinner with these 3 guys, which I didn't actually want to go. You know, I was thinking, what the fuck? But I said, okay, let's go. It's a free meal, what the fuck? So I went to the little Austria, and you know, the Würstel Sepp was cooking. And exactly, you know exactly what it was for lunch, you know? It was the Söchwürstel. So we eat the Söchwürstel, and I have to say, thank you Würstel Sepp for the Söchwürstel. But if I would have known what more shit would have happened in this mission, you know, I would took his Söchwürstel and shove it in his fucking ass. Alright, that's another story. What's gonna happen so in Kfor, and now you know why my brain is not too good anymore, why my mood is not too good anymore, because I had to deal with a lot of losers, backstabbers, mother, you know, down there. And when you know an Arschkröller, you have no chance in this mission, because these NCCs, you know, especially the spritty ones, they like Arschkröller. They like that you taste the ass juices of them. They thrive in it. They're thriving in these ass juices. You know, and these guys and these fat dudes, these commanders, they go up the ladder. There have a lot of complaints about these guys, and they're not going down like they're going up the ladder. They're going up the ladder because they eat the ass of the other guys up there as well. So they like to get eaten, and they also eat. They also nourish on these ass juices up there. Yeah, you know. Yeah, I have to make these videos like this. It makes me feel better, and the world needs to know what kind of people are in these missions, with what kind of people we have to deal day by day. And when you make this 15 years and dealing with all this bullshit people, you know, you're not gonna get crazy. You're not gonna get crazy. And when you think also these guys from the Abwehr are your friends, but in the end, they stab you also in the back. In the end. So then you are like me. Then you are like Joe X, and you do another YouTube channel which is called Joe X Mafia. The Joe X Mafia channel just exists because there are so many idiots out there and they want to backstab me again. This is the only reason Joe X Mafia exists, but it will stay there. I'm not gonna give up, and now it's payback time, because payback is a fucking bitch. Alright, I go eat now some Söchwürstel. Mahlzeit.
Well.